Hi everyone, I'm going to open my webcam. I have been testing my my streaming configuration. I think I have 10-15 seconds of lag, so maybe you write me on the chat and and it goes with a little lag. So let's hope it's the only thing that happens here. Just checking if you hear me. When you hear me talking, just say that you listen to me so we can start. Okay, it's clear that there is a little of lag, but well, I will try to fix it for the next webinar. And I bought a new microphone, so let's keep improving. Okay, well, my name is Carlos Lugreda. Some of you have arrived at the Slack, and we know a little each other. Some others haven't joined to Slack already, so maybe you see this tutorial after recorded. So first of all, I would like, let me check here, to congratulate all of you. I think that's enrolling into a Nanodegree program like React in Udacity is a big step for your career or for your knowledge. I just love the community here. So first steps must be little by little. So just you made the perfect decision. I'm going to explain the little benefits of having a mentor here, just like little highlights. This is a new feature that Udacity team is testing. In my case, I made this Nanodegree almost 1 year ago, so some things have changed, and one of these is the mentoring. Okay, here, as you see, you have a group of 15 students with me. Well, now we are in the channel, we are 10, active 5. We will have, you know, like a channel where we can talk together, solve doubts, and I will be available to solve them and maybe to ask Udacity about any doubts that I can solve, or they are like about other parts of Udacity. We will be having, as you know, weekly live sessions like this one, always trying to improve them. This is an introductory one, so but next ones will be about one topic about, you know, about the schedule of your Nanodegree. So for example, next week we will be doing a live webinar about React developer tools, so we can see how we can debug into the Google developers tools React component, React page. So and that would be help you for your projects and for understanding things. Okay, of course, questions and answers. So any doubts you have, maybe we can put into them. Most of you have seen the private area, and you see that you have a calendar like this one, where you can set your goals, when you want to study, and how many hours. So with me in a one-to-one call through Slack, we'll be setting the goals for this week, next week, and just try to understand, if you are going in the good way. Like, for example, it's the Nanodegree program is built for studying around 10 hours a week. So if you go with 10 hours a week, we'll be seeing that more or less you are going in the correct path, or maybe you have little knowledge about ECMAScript 6 or something about React. It isn't clear in the Nanodegree. So we will be seeing how you are doing. These are the things I can do for you. I just explained, but for example, welcome you to Udacity. We will be doing, some of you have done the one-on-one call through Slack yesterday. Some of you will have them today or tomorrow. In this, so every week you have 13 minutes, half an hour, to talk with me through Slack calls. Of course, if you have any doubt, we can turn the webcam or share the desktop, and we will be of course, I will explain later about individual things. We will be having the weekly content webinars. I will help you with the weekly learning plans, and I'll motivate you, help you when you are stuck, and of course creating and engaging communities over Slack, that I think it's awesome. Some of you have done previous Nanodegrees. You've seen that you have later, when you certified, you have the alumni Slack for sharing projects or ideas or career opportunities. So just make yourself comfortable with Slack and with the community. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Okay. We have at the end of the webinar a questions part, but if you just have any doubt, or you want me to speak slower or something like that, just write it in the chat. So now I'm going to explain little by little how things work. Okay, so for example, the official way to communicate with me and with you, it's through Slack. So I don't send you emails. Those emails come from Udacity. I just we communicate through Slack. We have the React, the class channel. I didn't write it, the name. It's the React ND /session/886. I'm going to share it in the, this is the channel where we are all the students for this cohort together. So just at any time, at any hour, just write it there, wherever you need, or any doubt, or every joke, or wherever you prefer. Of course, sometimes you prefer some more private approach, so you just click on my name, direct message me. If you have any doubt about how Slack works, just ask me. So those are more or less the typical way of communicating with me. We will be having a weekly AMA. This is the Ask Me Anything, or also called office hour sessions. We haven't set for this week an AMA session because I was waiting for everyone to appear at the Slack, for you to get in touch with the platform. So I imagine that with the one-on-one calls, with the webinar, we just can leave it for later, for the weekend, or for next week. We just can talk it later with the in the chat in the channel. But at that moment, in the point 1 and 2, For example, you can write me a direct message or in the channel, but maybe I am not at that moment available. I will try to always be like 1 hour, 2 hours ahead to answer your questions. But in the weekly MEA, at least we have 30 minutes that we know that I'm going to be there, and most of you are going to be there, because we will try to make it like as we made it, with a poll, with a survey, like what is the best day, what is the best hour. And after I have the one-on-one calls with you, I will learn about your schedules and maybe make some changes. But yeah, that's a great way to have any doubt and know that, okay, Tuesday at 2 o'clock we can share it. For example, the one weekly virtual call where we will be setting this learning plan path and solving your doubts or whatever. I'm going to explain it in the, I think in the next screen, how you can book sessions with me. Okay, so I think here, for communicating, there isn't the webinars, but should be like 0.5 the webinars. It's not a communication channel, it's more like for teaching, but yeah, I think that's the 5th point. Okay, so the Slack call, as I told you, is for creating the learning plan, customized for you. Every week, for example, if we talk today, this week is like a little more crazy because it's the first week, it began on Tuesday. So it's like we haven't organized more or less when we are going to do the webinars. One of the students told me a great idea that would be great to have like webinars usually on Fridays, Saturday, Sunday at the end of the week, having the one-on-one calls with at the beginning of the week, so we can just, okay, this week you should study this, or you should do this, or maybe you have a problem at work, so this week you can't do much work, so okay, instead of 10 hours, 5 or 2, and we will, and you have, you know, like all the week to look for the doubts and to go to the webinar, and on next week at the beginning you just have another call with me. They don't have to be 30-minute sessions, they can be 10-minute sessions, they can be 40-minute sessions, so it's not a problem. If to book in with me, you have this link, it's on Slack. I will try to put it in my Slack profile, and of course I will share this this presentation in the channel, so you have like the links and everything. So for example, I'm going to show you how you just book with me through Calendly. Okay, I just copy, yeah. So you will appear to my calendar and you will see the dates. Okay, by default, I just put that you can't book for the first 4 hours from when you appear. So if you arrive now at 10 o'clock, maybe you let's see, you can't go until 2:30, 2, 3, and also this is synchronized with my personal calendar. So if I have, you know, to go to the dentist on Tuesday, it won't let you choose those hours, or if another student has booked for that time, it will. So if you arrive here, you will be like setting, okay, I want to book with Carlos today at 3, at 5:30, Saturday. I recommend for you to begin to book for tomorrow, for the next week, so you can choose your hours. I try to put the most wide possibilities. If you think that you need later hours, just ask me, or I will try to change the config. Of course, also if someday, for example, today, you want to do the one-on-one call, okay, maybe today at 12 or 1 I could talk with Carlos, because you have that 4 hours limit. It's just only for being prepared. If today I don't have anyone, maybe I go out home and you just book for me in the next half an hour, and of course, if it's something urgent, I can go to the Slack and with my smartphone, but I would prefer to be at home to go through the files or the previous week learning path. But you can ask me in private or in the channel. Okay, are you free in 2 hours? And maybe I open you that kind of the option. So it's a great tool, so you can do that. Okay, this is a little a screenshot about more or less what you can see about your channels you have. You have more channels than me. I have some channels you don't have. This is taken from another Nanodegree, but this would be like, okay, your private sessions. You have 7 community public Slack channels, the school channel, 1 general peer help. Every project will be having its individual channels. For you who don't understand or are new to the Slack application, these channels are public, and with the ones with the lock are private. So for private channels, you need to come invited, for example, as our private channel. Right now, I don't know, maybe you can tell me in the comments of the chat. For example, I think I don't have access to the private projects channels. As you can see, I just have like AMI events as you, announcements, careers. I have this, like, it's a technical channel for throwing doubts, a channel for the mentors, and our private channel, but I can see the project one. So I don't know if you are already being able to access these channels, because maybe if you are able to see them, I ask Udacity to give me access to them, because I think that might be helpful to see what people are writing or about the project, or what doubts they are having about it. Okay, so yeah, as I told you, in the private channel for us is like the home where we all talk together and we chat. So feel free to throw any documentation, any link, any, it's your home. I like communication. I like jokes. So just don't be afraid. Okay, webinars is another tool. You have the weekly webinar. They are divided in this first one, the welcome webinar. I'm sorry if this is not the best. We are trying to introduce you all the concepts, but later, for next week, always it will be like 60 minutes length. I don't know, for example, today maybe it will be a half an hour minute, length. It depends on the questions and the doubts, but we will be having this kind of webinars when I show code, or I have prepared some examples. Maybe we can like set some exercises or surveys. We will be watching how we can improve together. This is the first time. This is the first time this mentors thing like this it's made. So we are new in the process. From Udacity is making a big effort to have everything prepared, but maybe I get some documentation, some docs 1 day ago, and I didn't have all the time to prepare. So I hope every week we make an improvement. I make an improvement in my live YouTuber techniques. Okay, so for this I will be making this YouTube live webinar. As I told you before, every week will be related the content with more or less the path you should be following, studying the React. So this first week and the next you should be studying like the why React part, about maybe beginning with a state, not much. So you know, the next week and the week after we will go to tools for debugging, about your doubts, about maybe about if you begin the project, we can answer all your questions about the project. We can, and for example, in the next 3 weeks, the webinar would be about Redux. So that's why it's perfect that at least you can go with a plan of the customized learning plan. So you know, every week more or less what we talk about the webinars, it's you know, you just aren't completely new to the contents. Of course, if you have doubts, we can go in Slack to solve them, and in the webinars always we will be solving doubts about people who are left behind or things about that. Okay, this is just a reminder about you need to take a nice look to the Udacity honor code, about, you know, like how to give your assignments and how the project should be written, because you know you can't do copy the project from other people and things like that. So a mentor can't make your work, you know, like I can solve you the if you have a doubt with your project, I can go there and write the answer or throw you the code for you to paste it. Of course, we can solve it with an example relating the concept. Okay, you are having a problem with the state, you know, like you are not managing the state, or you are setting the state directly. So you know, so we can make an example and you will be able to solve it. And other things is that mentors, we aren't here for providing career advice. We have special experts for this. So if you have doubts about career advice, just well, you can ask me, but I will tell you, okay, go to this channel, ask, go to this part of the website where you can contact with the advisor, with a mentor for the career. You have amazing tools at the extracurricular part of your dashboard, so make use of it. I'm going to drink a little, sorry. So, I would like to, because this is introductory webinar, just to see more or less how the React Nanodegree is built. I have access to the version of the Nanodegree you are studying now. I've been looking through it. Some things have changed from when I did it, so we'll be talking about it. So you have it's divided in basic content, extracurricular content, and career portal. I know that career portal appears in the extracurricular content, but let me check if everything is going well. Okay. And yeah, career portal goes into the extracurricular content in the dashboard, but for me it's easier to separate it, for example, extracurricular content is like, okay, how to use GitHub, learning about ECMAScript 6, asynchronous HTTP requests, these things. And career portal is, okay, update your GitHub, update your LinkedIn, do our job research search, things like that. So what you need to do to earn your certification, of course, you the most content you you see from the Nanodegree, the better. I think in my case, when you finish the Nanodegree, you have access to the content for the Nanodegree for 12 months. I don't know if it has changed, but you can download it and have it. There are tools to save it into your folders. But the important thing is like, so that's why I tell you, okay, I try to read everything to benefit from all the parts for this Nanodegree. It's prepared for 4 months. You can do it in 3 months. You can do it in 4 months and a half or something like that, or 5. I don't know how is the extension limit, time limit. But you only need to earn your certification to pass 3 required projects. So in my case, when I did the Nanodegree, I had a job, a very difficult problem with my company. So I had to make the 2 last projects very at the end, at the limit. So but that's what you need. You just need to pass the projects, and if we go little by little, you won't be having any problem. Just don't go into the dashboard and see, okay, I have to finish project 1, my reads on 7th of April or 8th of April. Oh, I only have 2 weeks. Don't worry. Every week we will be setting the path. You can begin it now. Of course, the best way is like, I don't know in which lesson of the first weeks you begin to create the first project. But let me check. I think I have it here. Okay, basic content. It's divided in 3 modules. Okay, in 3 great big parts: React Fundamentals, React and Redux, and React Native. So every part has its own application web for learning experience. This is like okay, so in this part, through the videos, you will be doing, I don't have it here. I don't remember. You will be having a contacts application, managing contacts application. I think it's the project that you will be watching through the videos, how they build it, how to prepare it. So once you see that, begin to prepare that project in the coursework, you have the create React app script running. You can have a hello world application, create a component, create a parent and child component. So once you go into that, you just can open the project one tab, see about this project. The project is my reads, and just begin to build it. Of course, there is some parts like, okay, I need React router, but I don't see it until next week. Okay, just leave it there. So you just can build it, or maybe you just can set the project for the 3rd week, and just on the 7 days of the week, just use the project. It's not a difficult project. It's you have time to do it. And okay, so in the React fundamentals, as you have seen, you have like the benefits of React, or how to use React, how to render user interfaces. You will see basic state management. Like this is how React uses a state, and how it uses the data binding, how to render user interfaces with external data, and using the React router. That's the router for the URL paths. Okay. Later in every lesson you have recommended lectures. I think they are awesome, like going into deep with composition, about declarative code, so you will be covering, I think that covering it on the Redux part. So just take your time, because every piece of documents from recommended documents are perfect. So first project, you can see here, this is like what you will be building. And React Redux, this is the biggest change I have seen. If you see right now, when I did it, the project for this module was the readable project. This was like is a project about writing blog posts. I think that it was a difficult project. I don't know if because it was difficult to understand, or because Redux is very complex. At the beginning, it's wow. Later you understand it better. So they changed it. So now it's an optional project. The optional project, you can do it at the end. So so now the project is the would you rather. Like you can select between two options, and you use Redux for this. And the module project, like you build, the module project is the one that you build during the lessons. Will be a Redux Twitter. So like a Twitter application, and where you will be seeing how to build it, so it will be easier to go to the required project with would you rather. Okay, and this part, as you see, it's like, okay, it's going to be explaining Redux, okay, how Redux is used. It's like, okay, you will see that you can manage lots of states with React's internet state, but when the application goes bigger, you just need some general state management like Redux. With newer content or newer technologies like GraphQL, you might not need a big amount of Redux, but you will be needing it, or you will be using under the hood. If you go to GraphQL and maybe you go to Apollo client, Apollo server, they are like frameworks for GraphQL. Under the hood, they use Redux. So always it's nice to open the developer tools and see a lot of state changing there, understanding how Redux works. So of course, in big applications, you will be using always Redux. There are other state management tools like Mobex, but this is the most used, and it's focused on React. And the third part of the course of this Nanodegree is React Native, and this is like I think the thing we love all of us about React, or one of the reasons I joined the Nanodegree program is that you can build web applications and mobile applications, VR applications, and this kind of things, but thinking in little steps. And it's awesome how it works. I used to do it with applications with Ionic, and arrived to React Native, and it's completely different, faster. And we will be watching how you style things in React Native compared to the React website. The spoiler alert, with Flexbox. So if you know CSS from the website and Flexbox, you will be watching that. That's what is used for React Native styling, how to use the navigation in a mobile application, and lots of things. You will be the model application. The React Udacity Fitness is application where you check your steps, cycling, how many miles have you run, and you use you make use of like the compass of the mobile phone, GPS. So you will be reaching out a lot of native things about the application. The project is mobile flashcards. It's just like the typical, okay, I want to run something, I make some cards with the question and on the back the answers, so I can create cards. I just I later can get this, the quiz. This project is like a lot of projects. You will have in the project area the syllabus and the what you need to get done to pass the project, and usually they are little things. It's not they aren't supposed to be big projects. Of course, you can go adding your custom designs and adding extra features. That depends on you, but just focusing on the steps you need to deliver. For example, in the second project, I didn't use create React application. I just created my own Webpack configuration, and like I went crazy there. I think some people just, I think I should haven't done that at the moment, but it seems nice at the beginning. I think this hasn't changed. You have extracurricular content. I told you, ECMAScript 6. I think it's one of the most recommended lessons to begin with. This week and next week, ECMAScript 6, because you will be watching like in all the lessons that, or maybe myself, that we try to use ECMAScript 6 always. So at first, when you go and you see the new things about JavaScript, it's not easy at the eye. It's like confusing, but later you just implement in your mind and you love it. So I will take into consideration during the webinars that I have to do it JavaScript or vanilla JavaScript way, and maybe and this would be in ECMAScript 6. After that, maybe if you don't know how to use Git and GitHub, also you have other courses in Udacity to take, but if you don't know Git for the project submission, you will be needing to put them in GitHub and give the links to them to the reviewer. So there, of course, you have client-server communication, asynchronous JavaScript, that they are nice, and the career portal. Okay, this is the last part. Tips for this week, because it's the beginning of the week and more or less I couldn't make a one-to-one call with all of you, or we can do them later or over the weekend. What you should be studying to follow the learning path for the 10 hours study time. The first part, why React, why we use React, why React appeared, and rendering user interfaces with React. Once you have that, and ECMAScript 6, you should begin it with, if you don't have knowledge about it. So next week, just you go with states, and so the next webinars would be next week React Developer Tools. So we will be learning how to debug with this Chrome extension, how to see how the also maybe something about the state, because we will be watching how the component is rebuilt in every user input. And 1 week after that, going deeper with states. So as you see, you have 2 weeks more where we are going to explain things about the learning path. Of course, if we talk about next week about React Developer Tools, we can have solve doubts about rendering user interfaces with React, passing props from parent to child, from parent to children, sorry. So always try to write me your questions so I can prepare the webinars with information and doubts. Maybe I just throw you, okay, at Wednesday I am preparing the webinar, I am not sure if I'm going to talk about this other thing. So maybe I ask you, okay, what do you prefer? So well, we have been here for half an hour. So now, if do you have any questions? I know that it has some lag in the transmission, so just feel free to ask anything. I'd be very glad to answer your questions, or maybe doubts that I just forgot to talk about. Ah, perfect, Adil. No, I didn't have time to see the project White Radar, but usually if you need a server, you just download it from the MyReads project. You just download, you know, a started code where you just have the API codes prepared to launch the API codes. And if you need a server, you just download it, and you know it's over Node, so you will be doing like npm run start or rpm run dev, so or npm, you know, that would be the only configuration you need. So if you have React running or React Native running, you just, you know, you will be having Node, and the projects will or the projects will have like, okay, just run this, so you don't need to config anything like databases or, you know, Nginx or anything like that. So just React and Node, you know, like for maybe throwing some servers, like, but nothing more. That did that solve your question? I have to solve the lag. Okay. Any other doubt, question, things I should improve? Like usually I imagine talk is lower, I imagine. I will leave the link for these videos are in private, but it's like in hidden mode. So thank you, Adil. So you just, if you have the link, you just can watch it, because I saw that I have to leave them available for you. So I don't know if, you know, having them public in YouTube is the best way. So by now they are will be in the private. So if you have the link, I will make like a list, you know, like a playlist with all the webinars, and we will be watching. So after this, I will leave the link for the video and this Google Drive presentation. Okay, so thank you for your time. I'm very glad you came here and just use the chat, because it's nice to have, you know, like people interested. So next week we'll go into the details working with React. So thank you and stay audacious. Bye.